and how much that does that degree help you in getting a position as an in-house counsel? I
Okay.
keep asking you these
MBA in
questions.
law or MBA after law?
MBA in law,
Are you talking about
from
the
Narsi
online MBA?
Munji.
Anasi
No,
Munji one. Okay, okay.
no.
Right. See, MBA in law, again, if you're doing for masters, any kind of masters, if your ultimate aim is to join startups, my suggestion, and non-legal role, my suggestion for you would be join a startup before doing an MBA, because you'll get grassroots level exposure. Because once you do MBA, there's a lot of financial pressure in terms of getting a decent package, and then you are not able to work on grassroots level, जहाँ पे थोड़ा सा unstructured way में काम होता है ना, वहाँ आपको different verticals explore करने का option मिलेगा. But if you go with the packaged companies which will give you 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs or whatever package, they have a very clear division, demarcation. So you will only be doing a particular work. Like there will be very limited scope of exploring different domains. So during my startup exposure during pandemic, I was a part of the placements team. I also did sales. I was also working closely with the marketing team regularly. So I got a like kind of an eagle eye view. But that becomes very difficult with structured organizations where your role is more like in one direction, if not actually pigeonholed role. Second thing is, if you do MBA in law and RC Munji, I haven't explored the syllabus, but if the degree is in MBA, trust me, the focus would be more towards the business side than the law side. And I was talking to a senior, like a very senior business person. He is into like different companies he runs all over India. And during my college days, I had asked him that would MBA after law be a good combination? And in addition to him, like with other seniors also, I had asked. So everybody had told me only one thing, that after law, if you're going for MBA, your law degree to a great extent might take a backseat. Like then MBA degree would come in the front face, which will be defining you. Of course, that's not necessary. There are a good number of law firm partners who did MBA after law and then went back to law because they felt that their MBA degree will help them with their law firm management or with business development and all, like client management and all of that. But the percentage is very, very less. Like usually people who go from law to MBA then tend to like restrict themselves to MBA, because then they start thinking कि अच्छा इतना investment degree में कर दिया है, so if I go back to law, will law be able to pay me or will MBA pay me better, right? And because people look for short term, sadly, like that's honestly a very sad thing, that people look for short term financial goals first over long term goals. So obviously law may, if you survive in the long term, you will be able to make as good money or maybe even more. But people look for short term goals. So if you come back to law, you may not immediately start on a very good paycheck level, and that's why people do then tend to keep law as a backseat, like secondary degree, and MBA becomes the primary degree. But if you are genuinely willing to do MBA, then my suggestion would be, again, before going into any sort of masters, get some exposure, some work exposure, and then go for an MBA. It will help you a lot because it's a leadership program, so you have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of pressure. Reliance Jio has also started its own university. So like this year they gave two options. One was artificial intelligence and digital marketing, like last year 2022, and I think this year they have introduced two more, journalism and sports related something, right? So these ways, like more number of private universities are definitely coming up with masters programs and leadership programs. But the moment you join those programs, could be possible that your core law degree might take a second step. However, law plus MBA will help you a lot if your core aim either is to join a startup, or you want to join into law firm management, you want to join into business development of law firms and chambers, or you want to, let's say, work in digital marketing for law firms. That is also something which is picking up. और legal designs के लिए वैसे अभी MBA की उतनी खास ज़रूरत नहीं है, because इंडिया में उतना अभी ग्रो भी नहीं किया है वो डोमेन. And this one, if you want to go into the core recruitment side, like Mentorship, of course, that is different. Career coaching, people of course often confuse career coaching and mentorship with recruitment. They are not same, they are like separate. Because as a career coach, you focus more on the student. As a recruiter or headhunter, you focus more on the organization which is hiring, and your aim is just to like find somebody who can fit the role. But as a career coach, you focus on the individual ki what are his interests, what is his or her long term goal and all, right? But ये जो head hunting vertical है, this is also like, this pays like anything, at least with some of the renowned brands, and therefore you'll see a lot of lawyers with good years of 10 12 years of experience entering into recruitment vertical, because वहाँ पे the moment you're able to find the right fit for the organization, the firm pays you or the chamber pays you very well. So again, packages might not be that great, but incentive wise people can make good amount of money. And there was one particular recruiter I just spoke to some time back. I was just trying to evaluate the market में क्या range चल रहा है, how much are these guys willing to make, willing to pay. So I quoted as good as a law firm package. I said that like, if I'm applying, would you be having a budget of it now? And they said, okay, yeah, you send your CV, we might be able to like fit in that range within our budget. So that means like you can see that like there is on no just one way of earning money with a law degree. So MBA in law might be able to help you, but I don't say that like that can only be done with an MBA degree. To a great extent, these things can be done without an MBA degree if you can show them how you could actually be able to take those roles and responsibilities. Because if you're investing in a degree, I always say that think from long term perspective, that what would be the right time for me to invest in this degree so that it can bring the maximum returns for me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for your guidance.